Hey guys, come on in, type in freedom now, freedom now. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm LaToya McBean Pompy, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law. If you were with me on Saturday, I popped up on Saturday and we had a terrific hour and a half or maybe almost 2 hours live session. Type in, I was with you Saturday. I was there. Thank you so much for doing it on that Saturday. Guys, it's so terrific to be here with you today. We're going to have a terrific time. Welcome Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and certainly McBean Immigration TV on YouTube. You guys are the best. Type in Freedom Now wherever you're joining from. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Today, we're going to go through some news, immigration news, and then we'll transition to your immigration questions. And then I have 3 success stories from you guys that I'd love to share and uplift you or inspire you today to keep going. It's good to see you guys. We're going to also have a call-in. If you'd like to call in to the show, join us on YouTube on McBean Immigration TV to call in. The link will be in our chat. My colleague is behind the scenes helping me today with this. So just click on that link and you'll be placed in our wait-in room. We ask that you type in immediately. We've got to screen you, so type in immediately your immigration question or issue once you go into our private wait-in room space. And once I see that we've completed our screening, I will pull you onto the show. So we only have time for maybe about 3 or 4 callers today. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much. We're here at McBean Law at in our office in White Plains, New York. However, we work virtually with clients all across the world, really. And so contact us at 914-898-9488, or you may email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com. If you're joining on Facebook, share this live session with your feed because you never know who needs this information. Now let's go right into it, friends, with the first immigration news summary, and it has to do with New York. New York. New York Immigration Court. My God. New York Immigration Court New York Immigration Court is the #1 court for arresting individuals when they show up for their immigration hearing. CBS News did an article about this issue, although we've been talking about it and how things have escalated in Manhattan. But according to this article, ICE has resumed courthouse arrest, which we've all seen, detaining immigrants who show up for their hearings, sometimes using force. The agency recently reinstated that one ICE agent who shot at 26 Federal Plaza in Manhattan. Over 2,400 arrests have likely taken place inside or around immigration courts across the U.S. since May, and more, well, according to CBS News, they're saying more than 90% of those arrests have no criminal record. Their only offense is a civil immigration violation. However, you've heard me say to you that according to information from our Immigration Lawyers Association, that in Manhattan in particular, they're looking at individuals who do have an arrest on their record. And if they see an arrest, they will label that individual as a criminal alien. And therefore, once they step outside of that courtroom, they detain that individual. New York leads the nation in these arrests, followed by Miami, Los Angeles, and El Paso. Can you believe that? Even El Paso, Texas, is doing worse than New York as far as these courthouse arrests. Many of the individuals who are arrested in Manhattan are then transferred 1,000 miles away from their family and attorneys, often being placed in detention centers in Louisiana or Texas. And this is brutal. So, with respect to this issue, friends, as I've been telling you, if you have a hearing coming up in Manhattan in particular, see whether you can try to get a WebEx hearing so that you could be at your attorney's office and do it, or be at home and be part of the hearing. That is preferable. Try to get a WebEx hearing. Coordinate things with your attorney. If you have an arrest on your record, ensure that your attorney knows that, so that you would be prepared for the worst case scenario in the event that they detain you. And this is a tricky situation for immigrants to be in, of course, because for some people with a history, they can, when they show up to court, they run the risk of being arrested. But if you were to stay home and not show up, you will be deported or removed in absentia, in your absence. The judge will issue a removal order against you, and that is truly the worst case scenario as well, right? So they're placing people in a very tough position. So strategize with your lawyer to see whether you can get a WebEx hearing and not have to go to court in person that day. Okay, then this is an update. This is an update about the issue related to unaccompanied minors. A federal court blocked ICE from detaining unaccompanied minors once they turn 18. We've been talking about this issue, and we've talked about the fact that they are targeting young people who cross the border and offering them a very uh, they're offering them $2,500 if they agree to leave the United States once they turn 18. A federal judge in Washington, D.C. blocked ICE from immediately transferring immigrant minors into adult detention the moment they turn 18. The judge ruled that ICE cannot change how it handles these age outs, children who enter the U.S. alone and are still in federal custody when they become adults, because it does violate a 2021 injunction that requires the government to use the least restrictive and most humane options possible when dealing with this vulnerable population. ICE, just to refresh your memory, ICE had rolled out two very controversial changes. Number one is a voluntary departure cash offer of 2,500 if they agree to leave once they turn 18, and also a secret directive to their field offices instructing them to immediately detain age outs in adult facilities, which clearly violates court orders. And ICE has said that, well, all of this is voluntary. They don't have to do it. This is just an offer. However, advocates are advising that this is coercive, and it puts children in a vulnerable position, because part of the offer is that, well, if you don't take this, we're going to arrest you, or we might even go after your family members or your parents. So this matters. But so right now, from what I understand, things are on hold. So stay informed. Keep watching our channel for real-time developments about how this policy is shaken out and what's happening in court. And then stay on top of things by following certain advocacy organizations like the Legal Aid Society, the American Immigration Council, and some others, to know what's really going on. Now, I'm going to jump to another thing. Chicago, another big issue is things we're all seeing the videos. We're all seeing things unfold on unfortunately, right before our eyes, as the federal government is clashing with locals in Chicago. And the position of the feds, as you guys know, is this, that, well, Chicago is a sanctuary city, and if you are not turning them over to us through your jail system, well, we're going to go into the communities with a lot of force, and you're really not going to like what we're going to do. And we've seen a lot of things that we really don't like. We don't like to see them arrest people who are on their way to work, or at work and they're just taking these people away. We don't like to see what they did to that priest when they shot him in the head, right? We don't like to see things like that. There's some really alarming things happening in Chicago right now. The most recent alarming problem is at the airport. At the O'Hare Airport, immigration agents started to interrogate Lyft and Uber drivers, asking them, "Are you a US citizen? Are you a US citizen? And if so, show us proof of that." Those are the two questions. Are you a US citizen? Federal agents detained several rideshare drivers on Friday at the O'Hare International Airport in the designated area where Lyft and Uber drivers wait for their ride requests. Two enforcement waves occurred, one in the morning and another in the afternoon, according to witnesses. And then video was obtained by CBS News Chicago, which shows agents interrogating and arresting multiple drivers on site. And I also am sharing a video of this on social media. TikTok, you probably already have seen it, and I'm going to share it with the rest of you later today. And the situation in Chicago at the airport was described as chaotic, that they were just grabbing people and checking IDs. And so the bigger picture is this: well, what's going to happen at JFK? Is JFK next? Is LAX next? Are they going to be showing up at other international airports across the country and harassing, asking these people? Remember, we talked about the fact that with the Supreme Court, green lighting, effectively green lighting racial profiling about a month ago, we're gonna turn into a show me your papers nation. Show me your papers. Are you a U.S. citizen? If so, show me your papers. Show me your papers. And that raises some significant concerns, friends. If you were with me on Saturday, I shared with you some historical look at things, and I mentioned to you that you have a personal and you have a responsibility to take up that civic banner, so to speak. You have a civic responsibility to determine what types of freedoms you'd like to see in our society and what type of society you want. So it is a personal responsibility that we have as citizens to raise our voice and, in some context, to push back on what we're seeing. So anyway, friends, so those are the three big pieces of news that I wanted to bring to your attention today. Thank you so much. Let's go right into some immigration questions. I do see that some people are in the chat. I'm sorry, in my waiting room, which is great, and they're being screened right now by my colleague. So come on in, just click that link to join today's show. Now let's go up to some of the questions that I have here in front of me. Mayor says that I got my immigrant visa approved 3 weeks ago, and my status on the SEAC is saying ready for interview. Okay, so here's a person who has been approved and contacted the embassy, but still no response. Yeah, I don't know which embassy you're dealing with, Mayor, but normally you would get a faster response by this. You can send them an email to find out what's going on, but give it another couple of weeks to see if you hear from them. And if you don't, you can reach out to us so that we could take a look at what's going on there on your behalf. Someone said, Bill Mick T says, I haven't been living in the United States for 14 years, no criminal record, or I have been living in the US for 14 years, no criminal record, and my wife is American. I'm married for 9 years now, and Homeland Security has approved my marriage case. Can I stay here without having to do a waiver? So they've approved the I-130. The question is, how did you enter the United States? Because if you enter the United States lawfully, you should be able to adjust your status and stay here and get your green card without needing a waiver. Okay. Double tap the screen for those of you who are joining today on TikTok and give this a like on Instagram. Thank you. Okay, let's see what the questions are on this side. Thank you so much for joining. Type in freedom now and also let me know where you're joining today, where you're joining from today. Thank you. Looking for questions. Thank you. The green card lottery, someone is asking about that. There's a delay. Someone is asking when are they going to send information about it? I'm not sure. They're very late. Well, yeah, normally the information, and I don't track the lottery process, as you guys know. I don't talk about it almost ever, but normally the information is shared with you during the first week of October, from what I understand. And this year, nothing has happened. What we do know, certainly, is that this administration is not a fan of allowing individuals from poor countries, as they frame it, from certain countries, from come into the United States through that lottery process. It sounds to me like it's quite possible that they're trying to revamp it, which is why it's been delayed. You guys probably might not know this, or you might know it. I don't know. I discussed it on Saturday that the visa bond process, the 5,000, the 10,000, the 15,000 visa bond on visitor visa has been extended to several more African countries. Very, very poor countries like Mali and several others are on this list. They're all African countries on this list of the visa bond. So now you're talking about the DV lottery process. I really think that they're going to really do something with that, but hopefully the announcement will be made very soon. All right, let's get this up. Please stand by. We're screening some of you today in our chat. Okay, I'm going to bring on Blessed to the show. Okay, so Blessed, get ready. I'm going to bring you on now. Hi there, Blessed.
Hi,
How are you?
good. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much for being a follower and watching. What's happening on your side today, Blessed?
I kind of have, the whole atmosphere right now is so tensed, right? And my case is kind of complicated. Um, so I went for the interview for my N400 and extension for the 10 years. And during the interview, everything was fine. The officer said it was good with everything.
Okay.
However, that the fraud department determined that the divorce that I had was invalid. So he couldn't make a decision and he was going to get back.
Oh,
And this has
what
been
country? What country are you
Nigeria.
from? Nigeria. Okay.
And this has been over 4 months. Um, it's kind of complicated because I'm trying they've not gotten back to me to even say what I need to do or stuff like that. um but I know my divorce is valid, so I'm working through a lawyer to help get like a certified copy in Nigeria. And you know but I would just want to know that what is my best approach now. The In addition to that,
Mhm.
or one of the complex stuff is that my ex-wife is also in the US and gotten a divorce in California. And
A divorce from you in California, right?
yes,
Where
yes,
and you have this old divorce, so to speak, from Nigeria
exactly.
as well that you've
Yeah,
submitted to immigration. I've seen this so many times. It is, as you said, complex. I think that the officer was nice to you to give you some insight during the interview that this is the problem that I'm seeing with your file, with your case. Most likely, they're going to issue a notice of intent to deny to you and allow you an opportunity to present a genuine divorce decree. But when you have an ex wife in the United States who is likely going through her immigration process as well. And she probably ran into this problem, which is why she then got a stateside divorce. It's always going to be connected back to your case. And the way that the government concludes things like this is that you were not free to marry that US citizen who gave you that 2-year green card to begin with. That's how I've seen it end. Are you still, you mentioned that you went through the N-400 process. You've submitted that application. I'm assuming that you're still in good standing and with your wife,
Yes.
living together and all is well.
Yes.
It's very well likely that you might have to do this all over again with that spouse because they should have caught this during the I-130 process, but they didn't catch it then. They caught it now. And the N-400 is always the deeper dive that exposes things like this. I've seen a lot of bad divorces come out of Nigeria. They're just, it happens very, very, very frequently. And sometimes folks don't know that their divorce decree is actually not an authentic one, even if they're working with an attorney back in Nigeria. So, so I think that you and your wife will have to pick up the pieces and be prepared for annoyed or be prepared to refile the case and start all over again because you weren't, they're going to conclude that you were never free to marry her. So you could reach out to us for further discussions about this, okay?
Thank you.
I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, good question. We see this very frequently. If you're out there in a situation like this, and immigration is questioning your divorce document, your marriage document, whatever civil document you've shared with them, particularly on the marriage side, it could be very frustrating. But at least he has an opportunity to actually pick up the pieces and keep going and ultimately, eventually can get a green card, but that's not always the case for some other people. Let's see, let's keep going. Double tap the screen if you're joining today on YouTube, on TikTok. Thank you very much. So let's go here. Immigration is targeting ITIN number. My daughter was let go from her job, Sandra says. Sandra, what I've seen is that when DHS is really after an individual, I've seen this through a case that we're working on, they will send a letter to the employer asking for proof that that employee is authorized to work. And they're asking for specifically the I-9 form. That's what they're asking for. If it's a contractor a relationship, it gets a little trickier. Normally, the employer would just immediately fire that person because they're not a W-2. There is no I-9. There is nothing there. So some people can, in fact, lose their job who are contractors working for an employer who the government has sent a letter saying, we would like to see your employment records related to this person. And sometimes they're cracking down. They're just cracking down, guys. They're cracking down. So if your daughter needs further legal help, have a consultation with us. We'd be happy to speak with her. I forgot to mention that today we're not, and going forward, of course, we're not pulling anyone on camera on our show. It's all telephone call-in, okay, for your own privacy and protection. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go back up here. Luxon says, I'm here in the United States from Biden program. My I-130 has been approved. I'm here 2 years. My priority date is February 2020. Tried to do adjustment, but it has been rejected because a visa is not yet available. How can I do my adjustment case? Who filed for you? Who filed that I-130 for you, Luxon? Who did that? Are you an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen? Was it a U.S. citizen spouse who did that for you, the filing? Was it an adult U.S. citizen son or daughter who filed for you? If you had the lawful entry, you might be eligible to adjust, but you have to be an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen. Otherwise, they're going to require you to wait until the visa becomes available because there is a backlog in every other category. Then the other reason that your case might have been denied, if this is an immediate relative case, is it's related to your entry. Do you have the type of entry or the type of parole that would allow you to adjust your status? That's the question. Happy to talk to you and see what happened with that denial. Thank you, guys. Double tap the screen and say freedom now. All right, let's go over here. Double tap, double tap. Someone says on Instagram that I have a credible interview on Wednesday in Newark, New Jersey. So this is an asylum interview. I don't have any criminal record, and I've been released by ICE because I have asthma. In 2022, I was detained by ICE but released because I have asthma, and now I have my interview coming up, my asylum case in New Jersey, no criminal record. What's going to happen to me? First of all, focus on preparing for that interview, okay, to ensure that you have some evidence to back up your claim there for asylum. Really important that you prepare yourself and know what's on your asylum application and what you had submitted, what your declaration says. Get smart about what you've said to the government. Now, with regard to the arrests, I've been hearing that at the Newark office, the asylum office, they're looking specifically for individuals with a criminal record. So I don't really think you have anything to be concerned about. And I would want to know why you were detained by ICE in 2022. What was the circumstances surrounding that? Life is Beauty is asking, how long will it take to receive my 10-year green card after the I-751 approval? After the I-751 approval, right away, right away. I thought you were asking something more complex. Right away. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's go up a little bit here. And let's get Pauline on the line here. Pauline, we're going to pull you in, okay? And I'm asking that if you're in my waiting room, I see you on camera, please disable the camera. We're going to just do audio, okay? I'm going to do, I can handle that. I did it anyway. I've disabled your camera. Okay, let's pull Paul. Is it Paulinus? I think. Paulinus? Hello there. Paulinus, can you hear me? Okay, what's going on? Paulinus, your audio is crystal is fine on my end. You might have to come back in. I'm gonna take you off. He's not there. Let's go down here. Let's see. Paulinus is not there. Hello there. I'm not bringing him back on. He's not there. So you could go ahead and just remove him from the wait room, please. Okay, let's get to some other questions. Thank you. Abigail says, hey, hey, hey. Abigail, have you been watching like me at night at 12:30 in the morning? What's happening? I think Abigail has been watching What's Happening. Hey, hey, hey. That's what she says here. Good to see you. Okay, Stars Are Shining is asking, after a revocation, can one reapply for an I-130? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have that qualifying relationship and maybe you've addressed the problems that the government had with the I-130 that was revoked, yes, you can do it. We've done it a number of times for individuals. Contact us to take a look at that revocation and see how we can get you back on the right track if you're eligible to get back on track. Freedom Now, Carolina is in the house, North Carolina. Let's go up here a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's get Levent in on the show. I'm having problems here bringing these people on. Levent, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. So I've already instructed you, by the way, I've instructed you to disable your camera. I'm going to have to, in order for the viewers to get a better experience, I'm going to have to pull it up.
Sure.
All right, there we go. Where is it? What's going on? Hold on a second. There you go. Hi.
Hi for everybody, and I'm sending my loves and respects.
Oh, we receive it. We receive it. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Sir, what city are you in today?
Right now, I do live in California, thanks to God, and it's such a beautiful day.
Good.
And I'm sending a hi to all of you guys, the whole world, who listen this right now broadcast. So thank you so much for your help for all of us. We love you and we support you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for everything.
Well, I couldn't do what I do and if you weren't there, right? So
We,
thank you for being there.
you know what? We almost every week, every day, sometimes we get all of this updates, and it just shows us, what we need to do. This is a big thing, and with name of God, really, thank you so much. We
Thank you,
really
sir.
appreciate it.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. What's going on? What question do you have for me today?
Well, today, maybe my situation, maybe same as maybe the other, maybe a few thousands of cases. Maybe this conversation, this questions, maybe will lead also these people that what kind of the map road that we're gonna need it. So my question is this: 14 years I have been living in the United States, and I came to the United States, no inspection from Canada border. But of course, I didn't know that the law of the United States. Maybe that was the big mistake, but it is what it is right now. My wife, she's an American, and right now, I we applied to the Homeland Security. They approved our application. We are married almost 10 years so far, and they told me that you can give application as a waiver. But the thing is, if I leave the country right now, my wife, she's gonna face with a big jeopardies and a very big hardship. So, and also she's dealing with some health issues. So without me, I mean, she's not gonna able to make it. So I have to be here. I mean, really, it's very hard situation. My question is there any chance that without any waiver, I can give application that I can stay here or can get my adjustment of status? Is there any chance like that who has the same situation that I have?
For some people, it might be possible for them. For those who have been here for many years, right? And they had an early petition that was filed either by an employer or a certain relative before the cutoff date of April 30th, 2001. They're able to adjust their status through their relative. Um, or if you have a relative like your wife who is in the military, right? There's military parole in place. I don't know if an attorney has ever discussed that with you, but military parole in place allows the government to give you that entry, so to speak, that is then needed for adjustment of status. Other people get through a humanitarian process. For some, it's asylum. For some, it's a U visa for a victim of a crime. And then for some others, it could very well be due to a labor trafficking case that they have under the T visa. If you don't fall into any of those categories, then the next best option, and it does work, would be to do a waiver and then finish your process at your home embassy and then return to the United States.
How many years do you think it takes to finish this legal process? Because I heard that
What country embassy would you be going to if you were to follow that channel?
I am originally from Turkey.
Turkey.
So yeah, and the other thing is, I forgot to tell you, uh, Homeland Security they approved, and ICE they closed my file. I got the some paper documentation from ICE, uh, but but I mean right now I don't know what kind of what was the level of my risk if they're gonna deport me or not. Hopefully, they're not gonna do it, because in this situation, that would be, I think, worst scenario. Because my wife, really, I don't care about myself, but all about my wife.
What do you mean
So
by ICE closed out your case? Were you were in removal? You had a deportation case at one time?
yeah, and my lawyer told me that they closed the file. They applied for close this file, my removal
To
process.
take you out of the removal process, correct?
That's correct, man. Right.
Okay, good. Okay, so you're not under their jurisdiction, the court's jurisdiction anymore, but it doesn't mean that you could adjust your status through your US citizen wife. You In order to adjust your status, you have to show how you arrived at the here, right? You have to show some landing papers. And if you're unable to do so, then the next best way of doing it to finish the process would be to leave the country carefully through a waiver process and expect to spend about up to a year, maybe, at your home embassy in your home country. And and then come back after your waiver has been approved. But I do have other people waiting who I'm going to get onto the program. If you'd like to go deeper, I'm happy to have that discussion with you one on one. Okay.
That would be great. If they approve my application, do you think can I come back to the United States legally?
Possibly, we would have to see what is on your record. We would want to see the full picture of your immigration record and ensure that you're not permanently barred for any reason and that there's no criminal issue that could stand in your way of the US Embassy saying yes to you, because ultimately it will come down to them saying yes to you. So we would dive deeper and do a case assessment before you leave the United States. Okay. Thank you so much for being here today. I
I
appreciate it.
really appreciate it. In a way, I got your valuable time, ma'am. I really appreciate it. Really love you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you. Have a good rest of your day.
I really appreciate it. Likewise for all of us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, great questions. I hope you guys found this valuable, right? Because some of you might be in his shoes, and it's always good to have a one-on-one to go deeper about these issues. Someone is asking, Shamika is asking from Instagram, what's the next step after the I-130 has been approved out of country for minor? What do I do next? My husband has filed for her. She's in Jamaica, my country of birth. So, Shamika, once after the I-130 has been approved, the case will be sent over to the National Visa Center for for you and your husband to prepare the visa application for the child and the affidavit of support and some other documents that they're going to require. Once you load everything up to that visa center, um, once you load everything up to the visa center, you will be notified by email that the case is documentarily qualified, and they're going to give you an interview date at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. Okay, so the question, however, Shamika, is your husband's a U.S. citizen, right? So this would be an immediate relative filing. So it's a fast process for minor children. Thank you for that question. I'm going to bring on, is Paulina's ready to go now? I see that Paulina's is back. Paulina's, I'm going to pull you in. Hello there, Paulina's. Can you hear me? Paulinus, are you there? Okay. Okay. He's having microphone issues. Okay. So I'll just remove you. All right. Guys, we've placed in our chat the link. If you'd like to call in today, click that link. Okay, click that link. All right. A question on YouTube is, it says that my friend, a nurse, overstayed her visitor's visa and later got a 2-year work permit through an agency. However, the contract has ended and the work permit has expired. What can she do to get another work permit? So she probably, she overstayed and then later got a work permit. So they must have filed something for her. It's possible that they started the labor certification process for her and then transitioned to the labor petition through USCIS and adjustment of status in order for her to get that work permit. But, her case might have been denied, right? Because she overstayed and she's ineligible for the adjustment of status. So they would not renew her. Work permit. Okay. Come on in, guys, to the chat. Click the link. The link is in our chat. You could click that link in order to join the show. And if you're joining today on TikTok, head over to, you could, go to the other one and you'll be able to join the live show that way. I'm not pulling up guests on TikTok. It'll be way too complicated. Someone says, where can I click the link? It's actually on McBean Immigration TV, okay? McBean Immigration TV on the other forum, the horizontal one. What Indigo Aligned says here in the chat, what if the I-130 is approved? Interview for I-485 happened. I'm waiting on the approval. Now detained. So I'm assuming you're not detained because you wouldn't be here today asking this question. I don't know what you're asking because it ended strange for me there. Judith says, after the interview, they said 4 to 2 weeks, but I checked the status, still says reviewing. Give it some, Judith, I don't know what case you have pending currently with immigration, but just give it a little bit more time, okay? The system is not altogether that reliable. Let's go down a little bit here on Instagram. Just a little closer. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, someone is asking a question about the 2-year residency rule. Will it require a waiver? Yes, it will require a waiver. Sailor J says, please don't stop doing all that you do for immigrants. You're one of the best and the more transparent immigration lawyers I have ever met. Thank you very much. And friends, if you have not checked your email and you're a subscriber to our email list, and we'll show how you could subscribe momentarily, subscribe. But if you have not checked yesterday's email, last night's email, go open it. Read it. It's so good. It's so good. I love that story. It's a terrific testimonial involving our client who the government had accused wrongfully of false claim to U.S. citizenship, and they were totally wrong. She was also in removal proceedings, and other problems were on her record. And for so many years, she couldn't get through. And thanks be to God, she made it. We helped her with this process at the recently, and we're so happy that she has her green card in a very difficult history. So yeah, I'm so happy about that. So check your email, guys. Check your email. Thank you. And as you come into our wait-in room, please answer the questions that my moderator is taking you through. We've got to screen you to make sure that this is that you're good to pull up on today's show. I received my naturalization interview letter. Okay, June, what's your question? How may I contact you? Ameriganda is asking. Sure, you can call us at 914-898-9488. Our contact information is on the screen, or you can email us at info, I-N-F-O, at mcbeanlaw.com. Can the counselor keep a marriage case in administrative process perpetually? No, not perpetually. If it's been there for a very long time, contact us so that we could look to see about nudging them, and then certainly to file a lawsuit to get you over to the next step in their process. Okay, thank you. Double tap the screen. For those of you who are joining today, good afternoon. I'm LaToya McBean Pompy, an immigration lawyer in New York. The link to join today's show, if you'd like to call in, it's on YouTube. Go over to my channel, McBean Immigration TV, and join the live chat, and you'll be able to click on the link to call in today. Let's see. We're waiting on... okay, my colleague will let me know who's ready to go. Let's go up here. Guys, click the link. There we go. Why is my company, Remy is asking, why is my company not sending the form I-129 requested from the embassy? And this is so frustrating. H-1B visa not issued yet. Status not. You've got to take that to the company or that company's attorney. I don't know what they're doing, why they've delayed your case in that manner. The power is in their hands to act as the company that is sponsoring you. And they are the ones with the answers. But I understand that you're very frustrated, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. Natasha is asking, when you do your interview for your green card, how long does it take to actually get it? It normally happens very quickly. The approval, if they've approved the case, if they approve it right away, sometimes it's the same day, then, or it could be the next day or in another few days. And then you get your green card immediately. That's how it usually works. Kevin says, my wife and son did their I-130 and I-45 interviews in June, and it says the case is actively in review. So yeah, they're still going through those applications. I don't know what came up, Kevin, during the interview that is now making them really kind of drill down, because, you know, you're waiting for a long time now. You could reach out to us so that we could talk more with you about that. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Thank you so much for being here. Join today's live show. If you'd like to call in, head over to McBean Immigration TV and click the link. Click the link in the chat. My previous attorney is not returning my documents. What can I do? So, by the way, before I tell you what you can do, just know that lawyers are ethically bound to turn over documents to clients when clients request their file. That's number one. Number two, you can start in writing an email, a campaign, so to speak, to the lawyer saying, I would like my records, or I've requested my records from your office several times and I haven't received my records, or I'm getting pushback and it's not reasonable anymore for you to continue to hold on to my records, because they're given a reasonable time by which to return your records to you. Some lawyers do it within 30 days, others do it faster. We do it by electronic means. We give our clients the access back into our system so that they could download the records for themselves. So it's very fast. But I think 30 days is definitely a reasonable amount of time to give them to turn over your records. So you get this email chain going in writing. You could even also say that if I don't get my records back, I will be filing a grievance. But don't go there. Don't go to that extent unless I would say it's been more than maybe a couple of months waiting for them. If they're short of staff or understaffed, then gotta kind of understand a little bit there, but you really shouldn't be waiting beyond, I would say, 30 days, in my opinion, for your records to be turned over to you. And some lawyers say, well, and we do that too, that if you'd like it in paper, there's a process that we can undertake to give it to you in paper, but you have access to it electronically, and that's the means by which you will get it. Okay, let's get back to this screen. Is anyone ready to go? Okay. Let's see. Let's pull up Bidemi. Bidemi, I'm going to get you on. Okay. Hi there, Bidemi.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
Oh, I'm just terrific. What's going on?
All right. Thank you for the good job that you are doing, for throwing enlightenment to us. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes. I have a little problem, because I came in here with my children to make we did an adjustment of status through EB5.
Ooh.
So after that, after the adjustment of status, my daughter misbehaved and I cautioned her, and she went ahead to call the police for me.
Oh.
Yes. And I was arrested after the biometric.
Wow.
So now theirs have been
You mentioned you said you were arrested after the biometrics, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was arrested, but later the case was dismissed. So, but up till now, I've not heard from the USICE. But for my children, theirs have been approved. The form the work permit, the EAD has been approved.
Okay.
But for mine, I've not gotten anything. I've not heard anything. So my fear is it because of the arrest or something?
It's possible that they might send you a request for evidence asking for the arrest record and the disposition, which I'm sure you have, showing that your case was dismissed.
Yes.
And then you send that information to them so that they may continue to process your case.
Okay.
So if it doesn't come up in that manner through the RFP, you might be interviewed. I'm not sure if they're going to interview you or not. And it's at that point that the file should be updated. They might have already gotten wind of this by the interview, or they might not have. I don't know. But they do ask you at the very beginning of an interview if anything has changed and if you'd like to update your application. And it's at that point that your attorney needs to, obviously bring this to light. Otherwise, if they approve your case and they later found out about it, they could argue that you misrepresented during your green card interview to them. So I think the most likely scenario is that you're going to get an RFE asking
Okay.
for the arrest record.
Oh, thank you so much, ma, for the information.
Yes, and I will say this, that if you do get the RFE, absolutely reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you through to the finish line.
Okay, thank you so much. Would this be the perfect number to reach you? 914 898 9488.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so save that number.
I already have it. I'll get
Oh,
in touch with you. Thank
save
you
that
so
number.
much,
All
ma'am.
right.
Okay,
Take care.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you. You
Wonderful
too.
speaking. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Awesome. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. 2:00. Okay. You guys have some great questions today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Double tap that screen as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone says, I sent my I-912 with my N400 on Friday. I'm trying to make it before the October 20th change with the naturalization test. Will there be a problem? So, T-Gill 93, I've been saying the biggest issue is maybe because I like to study and I don't think the test is hard. It's an easy test. You'll be fine whether you take the new one or the old one, but certainly they're going to get you made the deadline here, so they're going to get you you'll be able to take this current easier quote unquote test. Focus on good moral character, okay? Focus on that and you'll be fine. I don't know if with your fee waiver request there, how that's going to come into play. Because if they deny that, then you'll have to submit another application with the fee. You'd have to pay that filing fee, and then certainly it's going to be after that October 20th deadline. Okay. Okay. I was just informed that we have a lot of people in the waiting room, so I shouldn't get too relaxed as I'm explaining things to you over there. Okay, let's go. Let's see what else we have here. Thank you. Let me get someone else in. Oops. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who are we? Let me see who we're going to pull up next. Let's go down. Okay, let's get in Balungi, Olivia. Balungi.
Yes.
Hello, hi.
Hi, how are you, Miss McBean? I'm so glad to talk to you.
Hi, how are you? Where are you today? Just
I'm in Virginia, Fairfax.
Oh, Fairfax. Okay.
Yeah.
Historical Fairfax,
Yeah.
Virginia, right? Well, maybe not that historical. There's some interesting things happening there these
Yeah.
days too. So
That's
thank you for
true.
being here. What's going on?
Yeah. I have an issue. My husband, when I met him, he had already applied for asylum. So then we filed for marriage. That was 2020. And then we went for the interview
When you
this
said
year in
that we
August.
filed for marriage, so you're the petitioner, yes?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
US
by the time I filed, I was still a green card. I was still a resident, green card holder. But
Okay.
then last year I became a citizen.
Okay.
But then yes, they called us for the interview this year in August.
Okay. The file has
Well,
been upgraded though to an immediate relative case, right?
yeah. So yes, he was like immediate. I think that is it. So
Yeah.
his form I-130 was approved after the interview.
Great.
But during the interview, we went with a lawyer, and then the officer asked my husband that there was something like he applied for a travel document during that filing. He applied for a travel document to go back home and send his respect to the mom because his mom had passed on.
So
So
fraud.
no, his mom had passed on. My
No, I know,
husband's
but
mom.
not to get ahead of myself,
Mm,
the reason I mentioned fraud is because did your
mm.
husband apply for a travel document to go back to the country that he sought asylum based on?
Yes,
Because
yes,
his mom had passed and he wanted to go back for a traditional ceremony?
yes.
Okay, so that's why I said the word fraud, but keep going.
Yeah, so when he filed for that, the officer was very eager to know why were you denied the travel document. It normally doesn't happen, and he was like, "Oh, yeah." My husband was, yes, I wanted to go back and at least say hello, like pay my traditional respect to my mom. And
Yeah.
the officer asked, "How did you come in the country?" Because he was very eager to know how he came in. Of course, he came in for the conference and he did not attend the conference because of his story. He ended up like setting in and then filing for asylum. So the officer said, "I think I'm very eager to find out, but if I find out there's something wrong on your form that you filled in when coming into the US, then you may have to do the waiver." And then he told the lawyer that you will have to make him file the waiver so that maybe he's forgiven for whatever that happened. We don't know, because that might be the reason why he was denied the travel document. So the lawyer said, okay. So when he asked him, "Do you want me to continue with your asylum case too, or you want me to continue with a marriage case?" My husband said, "Oh, you can close the asylum case." So, and then the officer said, he told the lawyer that I'll get you in 2 weeks, back to you in 2 weeks, to let you know if there is some issue on that file when he was coming in. Maybe it is the one causing the problem. The lawyer said, okay. So after like some weeks, the I-130 was approved, and then again they scheduled him for the asylum interview.
Although he had withdrawn the application during your interview, right?
No, during the interview, he told the officer, yes, you can withdraw the case.
Yeah.
But then when that happened, the lawyer, my husband sent the lawyer the message like, "Oh, this is what I've received." The lawyer answered like, "Oh, when it rains, it pours," something like that. So we didn't know what it means. So I just told my husband, you know what? I don't know how a lawyer can answer like that. I don't even care, but it doesn't sound like he cares even about a case. So someone advised my husband to go ahead and write to the office of asylum to withdraw the case, since the I-130 was approved pending the green card, 80 something. So my husband wrote the letter. It was like a few days, because the interview was supposed to be 3rd October.
Okay.
3rd. And my husband had to travel to California because that's where he's working immediately. So he sent in the letter, and he kept calling them. And they told him, you know what, if you do not get a notice to show that it has been called off or cancelled, come in for the interview. So the good thing, a few days, my husband got the letter saying that it was stating that they cancelled the interview. The USI, they canceled the interview.
Yeah.
But they said they might call it anytime. They did not state that the interview was maybe canceled because of withdrawing the case. They did not say that. So my husband is there, like he doesn't know what next.
What's your question?
So my question is, so what can he do? Because he does not know whether the case is withdrawn because the green card has not been approved. His work permit is like finished. He has not been given a new one, and he's just in a dilemma, like he doesn't know what to do next.
Okay, so first of all, I believe the asylum case is withdrawn. Didn't the government confirm that they've received it? His request, his letter. Did they send it yet?
The letter says the interview has been cancelled by them.
Okay. So by them. I don't think the asylum case is still on the table, and I think the lawyer should have properly withdrawn the asylum case since it came up during that interview, and your husband told the officer that he wants to proceed with the I-485 process through you. I think he might need a waiver. I think that there might be some indication there, whether it's through from his DS-160 visa application, information and his intent, what he told the U.S. Embassy in terms of his intent to come to the U.S. That came up during your interview. It doesn't always come up, but it came up during his interview. So they have an issue there that they're looking at. And then the other issue is the travel document. That's a flag. He should not have applied for a travel document through the adjustment of status case through you, knowing that he had applied for asylum, and now, okay, he wanted to go back and attend this traditional ceremony. He put in that request for the travel document while he had a pending asylum case.
Yes.
So I think that they're going to bring up the issue of fraud. You might get, or he, not you, you're over. Your part is over, so to speak, for now, because your I-130 was approved. What's needed next, most likely, is an I-601, and then you'll come back into the scene with proven extreme hardship to you, unless he has a parent here who is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder who the case would suffer extreme hardship if he is deported. But based on the line of questions from that officer, it sounds like they're leaning towards stringing events together to make it appear that your husband came here to apply for asylum and then to eventually get married and apply for a green card. So if you guys do get that waiver request, or if they try to pull anything further, contact us. We'd be happy to walk you through it and help you with it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And let's see, we're going to say goodbye. Keep us posted, though, or if you want to certainly do a one-on-one, just have a consultation. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was great. She woke me up. I'm up now. My brain started to work. Okay, let's keep going. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Good questions. I like those kinds of facts. Let's go. How long does it take to get the I-130 approved? It depends on who filed for you. For some people, it happens 6 to 9 months in immediate relative cases for some folks. And then for others, it could take a few years. It just depends. How Nazia is asking, how long are they taking to respond to a NOID in New York? It depends on what your issue is, what was the problem that they brought to your attention, and how convincing you were with helping them to see their error. And once they clearly see their error, they could approve your case right away. So it just depends on how good of a response you provided. Thank you for the gifts. Okay. Aleem on Instagram is asking, if you came on a visitor visa and applied for asylum before the stay expires, you have all the documents, no criminal record, how big of a risk is it to being detained? Honestly, I would have loved to tell you and others publicly that no one, there's no risk. There's no risk. Anyone in the United States who does not have a green card, there is a certain degree of risk. Why am I saying this now? Because now we see together what the situation is. And I wish this was in La La Land where I was a year ago, telling you guys due process, you have nothing to worry about, blah, blah, blah. I wish we were back to those days, but now we see how far things are being pushed. So, but you do have a right to make a very strong argument that you're on track for getting your green card. And I was just told that Paulinus says his mic or the mic is fixed. So we're going to try for the last time. And we're going to remove anyone from the waiting room who I've already spoke with. Paulinus, let's see. Are you there? Paulinus,
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Yeah,
Finally.
finally.
How's it going?
It's going good. Thank
I
you for having me.
You're
And
very
sorry about
welcome.
the microphone issues.
Not to worry, not to worry. What city are you located in?
I'm actually located in Lithuania, not in US
Oh,
currently.
you're
Yep.
in Lithuania, Europe.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. What's going on?
So my question is more about social security and green card issues. So I got my green card in 2015 via the lottery, and then I haven't been back in US for the past 5 years. I'm living in Lithuania right now, but I still keep my job in US. So I work for a US company,
You've
and
abandoned your residency, right? You
uh,
said that you've been out for 5 years
I haven't been for 5 years. Yes, I haven't been back to US.
after getting a green card.
Yes.
Okay, so you've abandoned it, right? Because you're living in Lithuania, correct?
Yes, correct. But I haven't, you know, filled out the form for this abandonment of green card.
I know,
I
but by
guess,
your
yeah.
action, your action, you've stayed out unless have you had reentry permits?
No,
It
I
doesn't
haven't
sound like
got.
it because
No.
you haven't been back. Yeah, so the government will consider you to have abandoned your residency. There's no circumstance that kept you outside of the US for 5 straight years. Of course, we had COVID, but that was years ago. That's over. A long time, right? So, what's your question to me, though, sir?
So since I'm paying taxes every year, or filing taxes to IRS, am I at risk of losing my retirement benefit, basically?
I'm not sure on that. You're going to have to contact whatever company is administering an agency that is overseeing the retirement funds. I don't have any area of expertise in that matter. What I can tell you is that the residency is you know is in trouble, your
Yeah.
residency here in the US. But I don't know anything about Social Security issues or retirement matters, aside from my own, of course. Okay, so you'll need to speak with a different professional about that. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
thank
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank you very
coming on.
much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see if I could answer just a couple more before we wrap up. Boxer's Empire says, my American citizen wife and I attended the green card interview in February 2024, but up to now, we have not heard from USCIS. What could be happening? Something came up during the interview. Something came up. Had to. Something came up that's causing them to go a little bit deeper. And they're looking into things. You guys need to gear up for next steps. We're happy to help you gear up. We're really good at gearing up by getting your records, but for both you and your wife from immigration, get those records and see what happened, and to advise you on the likely next step. We can also, if we need to, file a mandamus to force the government to give you that next step, which is some sort of letter, something to let you know what problem they have. Why have they held up your case for so long? We would want to be able to make to do that complaint for you and file that lawsuit. So you reach out to us so that we could go deeper. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go up here before I dive in. Ooh, Hugo. Hugo, come on in. Let's bring on Hugo. Hugo?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
Terrific, terrific. What's city are you in, Hugo?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Great. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I have a
By the way,
question.
Hugo, there's a little feedback. There's someone in the background speaking, or is that a TV? Can you maybe go in a quieter space, please?
Let me try to go to a quieter space.
And while Hugo is going to a quieter space, I'm gonna answer May's question. May says, I'm married with a U.S. citizen now. I got my B1, B2 extension, and I started working. Will there be an issue or with regard to applying for the I-45 because I'm working now? There should not be any issue because the government will look the other way. There's an exemption for you in the system that says that if you're filing a green card case as the spouse of a U.S. citizen, the government will look the other way and not care that much about you working. However, you'll have to disclose to them on your application that you are working. Hugo, what's your question?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question. I am a DACA recipient married to a US citizen, and I did advance parole 4 years ago. I'm in the process of applying for adjustment of status. But my question is, my
Who is
mother-in-law,
filing for you for adjustment of status? Is it your wife?
my wife,
Okay, so your U.S. citizen wife is filing for you.
correct?
Okay,
Correct.
got it.
Correct. And I
Keep
did
going.
advance parole. I did advance parole
Great,
about four
great.
years ago.
Yeah, awesome.
And so my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, filed for VAWA, and she got her VAWA approved on the claims that my wife abused her. My question is, will that affect in any way my process of adjustment of status?
Possibly, if they decide to call you and your wife in for an interview, and also if they decide to have your wife go in for biometrics in connection to your case, which, by the way, they are calling in some petitioners now for fingerprints, biometrics. So they can query her. Of course, it's a flag because in order to be successful with VAWA, you have to paint someone. You have to, you're essentially letting the government know through whatever picture in the write-in in the application process, the adjudicating officer has to see a picture of the abuse happening, and this person is an abuser. Okay, so it's storytelling in that VAWA case. Now, so if they have this picture of your wife as an abuser, and here she is filing for you, of course, it might raise a little bit of a flag, but just keep in mind, though, that you could argue your way out of this if they do try to raise it, because just because your wife might have been an abuser in one context doesn't mean that she's disqualified from filing for you. Because what they're supposed to really be querying is the bona fide relationship between her and you. And if she has, anything else that could potentially disqualify her, like for instance, what's really disqualifying is if a petitioner is on the sex offender registry list, that's disqualifying. But most everything else is not disqualifying, including those who had committed very serious crimes and spent years in prison for very serious felonies. So There's a way to argue out of this, okay? But great question, and I wish you guys well. Keep me posted on that, okay?
Will do. Thank you very much for answering.
Oh, yes. Thank you for being here today. Have a good one.
You do the same. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Excellent question. Friends, I don't know. Do I hold on one second? I think I do. Okay, let's see. How can I contact you? You can contact us at 914-898-9488 or at info@mcbeanlaw.com. Abigail says, I wish I could join you live on the show. Hopefully you do this again when I can join. Thanks for all that you do. Absolutely. I'm trying to do more of these live shows and would love to speak with you. All right. And when you come on, you've got to say, hey, hey, hey. All right, let's do it. Bring me back to my childhood. Please bring me back to my childhood because we're living in crazy times. Bring me back. Okay. Okay, great. I do have a few more minutes. I had to do a calendar check there. I know I have a consultation starting soon. I have DACA. And I also applied for the T visa. Will my DACA be revoked or can I keep it? So your DACA will not be revoked because you've applied under this humanitarian pathway to a green that will eventually down the road get you a green card if your T visa is approved. So your DACA will not be you won't lose your DACA. You shouldn't lose your DACA simply because you've applied for the T visa. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to bring Pat on. Let's bring Pat on, okay? Pat, come on in, please. Come on in. Pat?
Hi, can you
Hi,
hear me?
how are you? Yes.
Good, we're
How
doing
are
good. Thanks for asking.
Yes, you're Pat with the two T's.
No, I just put my nickname.
Yes, of course. Of course. You know,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today, Pat?
Doing good. It's just that we're just full of curiosity right now.
Well, of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yeah. So I entered to the United States using my tourist visa to visit my family, and I am married to an American citizen. We got married 2022.
Okay.
And originally I'm gonna go back to my home country, but my US citizen husband and I decided to just, for me to stay here because it's really hard. So I ended up overstaying my tourist visa. It got expired 24 of March, and we recently filed I-130 online January 2025 and mailed I-485 just this month. And my question is, will this affect us since we took a long time filing?
Yeah, I'm curious as to why you didn't file the I-485 together with the I-130. You could have, but in any event, it's, typically it does slow it down a little bit when you break it up like this. Um, but, if the government decides to call you in for an interview, um, it's very well possible that they'll consolidate both during that interview, or
Hmm.
just do an I-130 and then have and approve the I-45 without an interview. They could waive an interview for the I-45, or they could do a second interview. I've seen it happen in both
Right.
scenarios. What made you guys not file the I-45 together with the I-130 in January?
Yeah, because my husband was a student before. He was only doing part-time job, and he eventually graduated from his bachelor's.
Uh-huh.
So we filed, that's why we ended up filing the I-130 first, and then we recently, he right now he's doing full-time job, and that's why we get to have the money already for it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, of course, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
But I think I've already answered your question, right?
Right. So like the risk of me getting detained or whatever by, ICE, it be like will it be like really really risky for me, like especially going out or something?
So I don't know if you heard me earlier, Pat, when I said that anyone who is not a green card holder, there's a certain degree of risk. Um,
Right.
so you have your case in process. You're following the rules, and just stay positive. You don't have a criminal record, right?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, that's good. Anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah. No, I never
Okay,
had one.
just check in because the world's a big place.
I
I
know.
always say that in consultations. That's how I always do that. And those of you who have
Yeah.
met with me privately, you know that I always say in the world, right?
Right.
Because it does matter to immigration. I think you'll be fine. If you run into any
Okay.
problems, certainly reach back to us. We'd be happy to walk you through it. Okay. Good
Yes,
luck.
of course. All right. Thank
Thank
you so
you. Have
much.
a good day. You're welcome.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, right. Excellent. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So I think we're going to have to wrap up momentarily. We're wrapping up momentarily. Guys, type in freedom now. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon for our live Q&A show. Earlier, I also talked about some immigration news. And so you can watch the replay on YouTube to hear about the news that I've shared earlier. This week, I have a video coming out about denaturalization. I'm going very deep into it, into the issue of denaturalization, because there are almost 25 million naturalized citizens in the United States. And some people are very worried about the prospect of losing their citizenship under the Department of Justice's new expanded view of denaturalization. So I'm doing a new series. I filmed 3 videos for you guys on denaturalization. So stay tuned. We're going to roll one of them out for you this week. And while I'm waiting I see that some people are in the waiting room, but I'd like to share some uplifting news that you guys shared with me about your good news. If you've had a good news occurrence, if your case was approved, let us know. Type it in the chat so that I could share it with others during the next show. Elizabeth James 8374 said, I had my work permit approved on September 16th after applying for it since May of 2024. I'm trusting God for my green card approval at the soonest. Andre Gale says, and by the way, I'm reading this for the first time. I trust my colleague who handed this to me and said, here you go. So I'm reading this for the first time. So I'm trying to read ahead. I recently went to my citizenship interview last week and was recommended for naturalization. That's great. I'm now waiting for my ceremony invitation. From the moment I applied for citizenship and the interview, it was barely 3 to 4 weeks. They seem to be moving fast with citizenship approvals for simple cases. Even some of my acquaintances who have issues on their records are being approved, as long as they come prepared to their interviews with the relevant information and are truthful on their applications. Stay positive, everyone, and continue to build your support community. That's from Andre Gale. And then Abigail Touloud 2342 says, first of all, let me say thank you for all that you do, for giving this free resource and platform to ask questions that really should equal some consultant dollars. Those were her words, not mine. My process took 6 months. I married for 10 years, together 14. We filed ourselves, no lawyer. March 2025, submitted. April, requested for information. In June, interview date scheduled for September. On September 9th, interview was 5 minutes before she said you're approved and wished me well. No joke, 5 minutes. Her first question was, what took you so long? I have been here since I was 6 years old, was under DACA since 2012. What I lived through for decades was over in 5 minutes. Ah, this is great. I love this. Congratulations, Abigail, to Lude2342. I like that line. What I lived with, now I feel like preaching. What I lived through for decades was over in 5 minutes. I love that. When you get that breakthrough moment, it's surreal. Like, did this really happen to me? It's over in 5 minutes. Just like that. Gone. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Who's next? Let's see. Let's bring on Jonah. Jonah, come on in.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Did you hear what I just shared from Abigail? What I lived through for decades was over in 5 minutes. How
I
amazing.
just had that, and it really calmed me even before I ask my questions. I just feel like everything is possible. Yeah, that was really good to hear.
That was good.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was big thing to hear.
Jonah, what city are you in?
So I'm in Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay.
So
Okay. What's going on with you?
yeah, it's a long story, but I want to try to cut it short.
You've got to really cut it short.
So previously, you spoke to my wife. I was out of the house. When I came back, she told me about it because I've been following you for years. And she asked that question, but she didn't give the specifics. So if you spoke to Olivia, who said we had a case.
Yes, I remember what she said.
Yes. So when I came here, I fled because of political persecution, and I filed for asylum. That was way back in 2000.
Right, but you told them that you were coming here for a conference, though, right?
Yes, and honestly, I was coming for a conference until I started getting calls from my friends. I was even, I saw my name, online among the people who are, being looked for, right? So I decided to, stay and seek for asylum, right?
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do. Coming in, actually, I didn't know what to do, but I went, online, read, and I filed my case, right? Then I got married to my wife, and we filed for marriage based in 2023. And before that, I lost my mom. I couldn't go back, but I applied for a travel document. But I was not going back to the country of origin. I was going to the neighboring country.
Oh,
to meet
perfect.
my family.
Okay, so did you make that clear? Did you make that clear, though, during your interview?
He didn't even give me a chance. When I started saying it, he said, "You see, that's it." And I said, I was clear. I wanted to get closure to my family in a different country.
But also on your advanced parole application, did you also indicate obviously where you were planning on going, right?
Yes, with the address, the hotel, everything.
Yeah.
And I included my mother's death certificate and everything. So the first one, it was denied. And the reason they gave me was, we have no proof that that's your mother. I didn't want to appeal. I was going through a lot. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Okay.
When we filed for marriage-based, we filed everything. The travel document was denied, but this time it had misrepresentation.
Oh.
Yes.
Based on what?
Exactly. There was nothing. So I called my lawyer. I'm like, I don't really understand this. What's the misrepresentation? She told me probably they made a mistake. At that point, I didn't really think much about it when she said it was maybe a mistake. So when we went to the interview, he was very nice. Honestly, the guy was from New York. He was very nice. I can't even say he was like hard. He didn't even ask us any question about our marriage. Nothing. He just said, "Okay, these are your you have a child. This is this. That's it." And then he came back. He came back to me and asked me, "I'm saying in the system you are denied that your travel document was denied." I didn't even know which one. And he said, "Where were you going and why?" I'm like, I lost my mom and I wanted to find closure. So I wanted to go meet with my family in a different country just to get that closure because my mom meant a lot to me. And he said, "Mm-mm, mm." He asked my lawyer, "What is the reason they denied this? No, this is not right. They can't deny this. Why would they deny it?" He was more on our side. That's how it sounded.
Okay.
Until my lawyer, our lawyer, got the denial letter. He had one, and then the gentleman said, "Ah, okay. Now let's go back." So what happened? I'm like, "Nothing. How did you come?" Okay, he asked me, "Have you worked before without the authorization?" I'm like, "No." And then he said, "But I see you started working in August." And then that's when I said, "I started working after I received my EAD." It's like, yeah, you see now.
After you received your EAD under the marriage case.
No. And I first received the first one under asylum. The first one I got when I started working because
That's
we
right.
could,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Yep.
So that's when he started going back. Okay, so how did you come? I told him, I came for a conference, but unfortunately I had to stay because of what was going on in my country. He said, "So did you fight for asylum?" I'm like, "Yes, I did." He asked me, "What happened?" Honestly, if you something that happened to you, you don't even have to think twice. I started telling him, I gave him, he asked me for what happened, why, were you a member of one of the opposition party? I'm like, "Yes." "Were you a leader?" I'm like, "Not really, but I was among the leaders, but not a leader. I was among the activists, actually." That's what I said.
So
Said, "Okay."
he started to pepper you with questions related to your asylum case during your adjustment of
Yes.
status case with your wife.
Exactly. And the lawyer before the interview, she had told us when they ask about anything outside this, I'll come in. She didn't come in. But me, I just started explaining because he asked me, "Did you file? Who helped you file?" I'm like, "Nobody." Then he started asking me, "How did you
Okay, I'm going
come?"
to stop you there for a second, and I want to just interject. I hope that you guys heard what he just said here. This is definitely a teachable moment from the standpoint of you should be prepared to expect anything at these interviews. If you have another application pending or you had filed in the past for asylum and maybe that case was denied or withdrawn or whatever the case might be, it doesn't mean that they won't try to ask you some questions during another different type of forum. And you've got to be very careful with it because you've got, if you're not prepared for it, you can certainly misrepresent something that is already on your asylum application, and
Yeah.
then they could deny your green card case for misrepresentation during this interview. But sir, what is your question? You've got to make it really brief because others are waiting, and I've
Okay.
already
Yeah.
spoken to your
I'm so
wife at
sorry, but
length.
let me cut it short
At
now.
length.
Okay. After all that, he asked a little bit about what happened, who did that to you. I was specific. I said exactly what was in my asylum case and what happened to me exactly. So my question is, just I think 2 weeks later, I-130 was approved.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And a few days they called me for asylum interview. Then I called my lawyer.
Your wife had already gone through all of this with me. Do you have a different question from what she shared?
So the question is, how, like, in at this point where we are at, what do we need to do? Because I removed my asylum case, but I've not received any feedback, and we are just waiting now for green
Yeah.
card feedback.
So right, so you've got to gear up in the event that they send you an RFE for a 601 waiver if they find any problems related to misrepresentation. You mentioned and you clarified so eloquently for me here today that that on your, I think it was your second advanced parole request, they cited misrepresentation without going into details, right?
Yes.
There's that stain on your record that they most likely will go back to. And of course, they're checking your intent with respect to coming to the United States, the intent when they issued you that visa to come here for that conference. And so I think they're stringing together some facts to send you maybe a request for evidence for a waiver. If it's anything harsher like annoyed, a notice of intent to deny, then that's where things are, and you've got to be very smart in your response. Contact us. I told your wife, contact us. We'd be happy to go further. Okay, but
Okay, sure.
I do think that you should gear up for a waiver. All right.
Okay,
It was
sure.
very nice. And by the way, Jonah, you sound so much like an old friend of mine from Ghana.
Oh, really?
Albert, you remind me of my old friend, Albert.
Okay.
Thanks, Jonah, for being here today. It was nice
Thank you
speaking.
so much. I
Bye-bye.
appreciate you.
Okay,
I'll contact your office for sure.
great. Terrific.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whew, good, good, good. Okay, so let's see. I think I know that one or two are still waiting, but I don't see that Karen's microphone is working. We can try. Let's try bringing Karen on to see what happens. She says it's working. Okay, come on in, Karen, please. And this will be the last caller. Karen, can you hear me? Hello? Karen, is your microphone? I don't think it's working still. What's going on there? There's a problem with your microphone, Karen. You might have to try this again when I'm live the next time. Okay, I'll try to see if we could do something either maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, because there are a lot of questions that I wasn't able to get through today. Okay, Karen, we're going to disable you right now. Your microphone isn't working. Thank you, though, for trying. Okay, friends, we're going to remove everyone else from the waiting room. I'll be back again tomorrow. I can't tell you the exact time right now without figuring out some other details involving my life and my work schedule, but we're going to try to give you a heads up in my stories on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So follow me on social media at McBean Immigration McBean Immigration Law. Oh, she's back. Karen is back. Is it working now? Should we give you one last chance? One last chance, Karen. Let's give her one final chance. Karen, come on in. Karen? Karen, we still cannot hear you. Okay, we'll try again another time with Karen. Okay, friends, it was a pleasure being with you today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for helping to teach other people. Yeah, Karen says text that she'll try another day. Yeah, try another day, Karen. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook so that you'll get an update as far as when I'm going to be live again. And friends, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet subscribed, and hit that notification bell so that you'll get my new video this week about denaturalization. And we're here for you at McBean Law. You can reach out to us at 914-898-9488, or at info@mcbeanlaw.com. Have I forgotten anything? Have I forgotten anything? I think I'm all good, right? I don't think I've forgotten anything. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next